He was just a junkie, a piece of dirt for the Italian mafia. They sold his best friend to a prostitute business, and then even killed her. He cried and cried, but when he stood up wiping his tears, everybody could hear winning of Italian mafia. On that Particar day, he made everyone realize that he is the biggest gangster of them all. Welcome back to Paramount Recaps. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie kicks off with scenes from one of those hot desert countries in the east where us troops are clashing with terrorists. We also catch a glimpse of a special forces team getting blasted in an ambush. Joey Jones is the only one who makes it out alive, and before long, we find out that Joey's deserted the army and is now missing. Fast forward a year, and we meet these two tough guys rolling into an alley to rob some homeless folks. Inside one of the tents, Isabel is begging Joey not to fight back while she hides her stash of drugs in her mouth. The thugs start roughing up two homeless guys before turning their attention to Isabel and Joey. They snatch her drugs, but Joey fights back, letting her escape. The thugs lay into Joey with some brutal punches. One guy even pulls out a knife, but Joey manages to fight him off and make a painful getaway. Joey must have some sort of super speed because he bolts from the scene and barely slips into an apartment parking garage just before it closes. One thug manages to squeeze through the gates and is hot on Joey's trail, but Joey makes it onto the roof and slips through a skylight into an apartment. Joey flicks on the lights to make the thug think someone's home, and the thug quickly bails. Joey checks out the apartment and realizes the owner has a weird obsession with butts, with photos of them plastered all over the walls. Joey chugs a bottle of alcohol from the fridge and then heads out. Isabel, scared and alone on the street, gets spotted by one of the thugs, who pulls a knife on her. Joey, looking rough in the bathroom mirror, decides it's time for a change. He cleans up, shaves off his messy hair, and puts on a suit he finds in the closet. Now he looks nothing like the bum he did before. He hears a voicemail from the apartment owner, Damon, saying he'll be gone until October 1st. Joey sees this as a golden opportunity. Among the mail, he finds a letter with a new debit card and its PIN. Joey hits up the nearest ATM and discovers Damon's account is loaded. Joey ends up drunk on the street, reminiscing about his army days and the Middle East. He visits a soup kitchen run by Christina, a nun and his friend. She sees his scrappy clothes and assumes he stole them. Joey tells her he's searching for someone, but she threatens to call the cops. So Joey offers her some cash for her cause and leaves. Christina takes the money back to her convent and hands it over to the church. The abbess has no problem with the donation, but Christina remembers Joey told her to get something nice for herself. She asks the abbess for a portion, and the abbess, being cool about it, gives her some cash. Christina heads to the theater to buy a ticket to a ballet recital she's been dying to see, but finds out they're all sold out. There's one box left, but it costs £500, the exact amount Joey donated. Christina is heartbroken. Meanwhile, Joey is having nightmares about his time in the tank, waking up drenched in sweat. He drinks another bottle of alcohol and has a PTSD episode, seeing hummingbirds flying around his room. He goes back to Christina, begging for medicine, but she tells him to go to a hospital. Joey explains he's an ex-Special Forces soldier on the run from a court-martial, and he's in deep trouble. Christina takes him to the church, where he says he's got 2 broken ribs from the attack and needs antibiotics and painkillers. Christina has been trying to find Isabel since she hasn't shown up for meals, but has no news. Joey gives her the address to the apartment, hoping she can pass it on to Isabel if she hears anything. Joey goes back to the apartment and starts on another bottle of booze, but then has a change of heart and pours it out. The next day, he takes Damon's car and puts up flyers all around the city asking Isabel to get in touch. A few days later, Isabel leaves Joey a voicemail saying she's okay and has agreed to work for the thugs for a few weeks until she can get her own place. We find out Isabel is working as a sex worker for the thug. One day, Joey is home when a neighbor comes knocking, wanting to know who he is and threatening to call the cops. Joey lies, saying he's one of Damon's boyfriends and just staying for the summer, which the neighbor accepts. Joey gets a job at a Chinese restaurant and starts to turn his life around. One night, he's called to handle some rowdy diners who are clearly drunk and making a scene. Joey asks them to leave, and when they step outside, they start harassing him. One guy gets too handsy, and Joey responds with some heavy-duty blows. The restaurant manager, who's tied to the Chinese triad, is impressed and introduces Joey to his boss, Mr. Choi. Mr. Choi hires Joey as his driver and bodyguard. drunk, Joey tracks down his ex, Dawn, and their daughter, whom he hasn't seen in years, but can't bring himself to face them. He continues driving cars for Mr. Choi and using his ill-gotten gains to help Christina feed the poor. One day, Joey spots Dawn in a grocery store. She's furious at him for not taking care of his family and reveals she's had to do some unsavory things to pay the rent. Joey hands her a wad of cash. That night, Christina finds her doorstep covered with gifts and a dress from Joey, inviting her on a date. She shows up in her nun outfit since she can't wear the dress. Christina has some bad news. She shows Joey a photo of a woman found in a river, which he confirms is Isabel. Joey is furious, but Christina accuses him of hypocrisy, saying he's now dealing drugs for the Chinese, and Isabel was found full of that stuff, so he might be partly to blame. Joey calms down, and Christina holds his hand, urging him to do the right thing. She returns his initial £500 and tells him to start living honestly. Joey runs after her, asking her to at least take the dress, but she decides to donate it. The next night, the two thugs are back in the alley to rob someone when they run into Joey. Joey goes after them, demanding to know who killed Isabel. One thug ends up with a broken arm and busted teeth. Joey grabs the other thug, holds a spoon to his eye, and threatens to scoop it out if he doesn't talk. The guy spills that a client was the last person to see Isabel and gives a description. Joey knocks him out and then starts giving out money to the homeless. Christina gets an invite from Joey to an art viewing because he has info on Isabel's killer. When Joey spots Christina at the event in the red dress, he's blown away by how beautiful she looked. Christina says she came only to get info on Isabel and still plans to send the dress to Africa. Joey fills her in on the murder suspect and asks her to pass the info to her police contact. Just then, someone comes to check Joey's invitation, which was meant for Damon. So Joey and Christina make a quick exit. Christina, a bit tipsy, shares that she's been thinking about life outside the convent and her love for ballet. Joey helps her stay upright, and they share a kiss before Christina hurries off. Joey heads to an Italian business to collect money, but they don't believe he works for Mr. Choi. Joey shoves the guy aside, takes down two workers, and holds a knife to the old man's neck. He doesn't hurt him and starts to leave, but the old man's son pulls a gun on Joey. Joey shoots him in the arm and escapes. The police start searching for Joey and question Christina about his whereabouts. Joey visits Christina, who's mad at him for making her lie to the cops. She says the police won't do anything about Isabel, and Joey replies that sometimes you have to make your own justice. They drive off together in Christina's van. Christina wonders why Joey even likes her since she thinks she's a mess. She reveals she was hurt by her gymnastics instructor when she was young. She always wanted to be a ballerina, but her dad forced her into gymnastics. After being injured 17 times, she killed her instructor on the 18th try and was sent to the convent because she was so young. She's never shared this before and is shaken, so Joey decides to drive. They get to the convent, and Joey plans to head home, but tells Christina she should free herself. Christina feels conflicted about their relationship and asks for a transfer to Africa after October 1st, which surprises her abbess. Joey meets with Mr. Choi, who introduces him to Madame Choi. Joey describes the suspect he's after, and Madame Choi recognizes him but hands Joey car keys, saying it's a favor for a favor. Joey follows the directions to find a truck filled with people being smuggled. He counts them and then drives them back into the UK. We see the suspect in his room with a girl, and he suddenly starts attacking her, throwing her around. Another woman hears the commotion, checks his jacket, finds an invitation with the name Max, and steals it. Joey gets the guy's name and plans to get his revenge on October 1st. Christina gets a note from Joey to meet him at a park. He gives her a camera to take photos for his daughter because this place was special to them when she was younger. He wants her to have something to remember him by, as he doubts he'll look like he does now for much longer. Christina takes a few photos, asks for one last picture before she leaves for Africa, and the two have a final intimate moment. Soon after, Damon returns home but can't get in. He spots Christina and Joey rushing out, both laughing like kids. Joey wants Christina to run away with him since he has plenty of cash, but Christina urges him to do the right thing. Joey visits his daughter, gives her the photos, and leaves them with a big bag of cash he earned working for the Triad. Christina waits for Joey at the ballet recital. Joey, dressed up, heads to the event where Max is supposed to be. He sneaks in, finds Max, and throws him off the building before escaping. Christina is leaving the recital when she sees Joey, drunk and lying on the street. She covers him with her shawl and sits beside him. Joey wakes up to a disappointed Christina. He explains that when he's sober, he's dangerous, so he drinks to dull his skills. He can now see the hummingbirds again, which were actually drones present the day his men were killed. After that, he went on a killing spree, wiped out 5 locals, and vanished from the army. Joey breaks down and rests his head in Christina's lap. Christina heads to Africa, but gets a note on her way. Inside are photos of Joey and a note saying he's paid his debts to everyone, including Damon, and tipped off the police about Mr. Choi's human trafficking. Now, he'll disappear into the streets again as a drunk. Joey walks into the streets, chased by the police with drones similar to the hummingbirds. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, Please give it a thumbs up, it really helps the channel out. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with your suggestions for future videos, any questions you have, or just to say hi. Your feedback is super important to us and helps us create better content for you. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and on social media. It really makes a big difference and helps our community grow. You can follow us on Insert your social media handles for more updates and behind-the-scenes content. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.